Okay. Well, it's a little after 1, so I think we can probably get started and hopefully some more people come in as we go. Thanks for joining. Hope everyone's having a good Friday so far. It's snowing here in New York, so that's good. Yeah, thanks for taking the time to join us here. My name is Chris Krowiak, and I work in the InterNACHI marketing department, specifically doing logos for about 5.5 years now. And so we wanted to put on one of these marketing webinars for a couple of reasons. A lot of people don't know what we do or that we provide the service that we do for a marketing department. So we can kind of introduce people into that if they aren't familiar. And also we get a lot of orders, and there are a lot of frequent questions that we get asked, and a lot of areas along the process where there's some hangups, and they're not necessarily problems, but there are areas where we have to help the inspector as they're going through their marketing, which is totally fine. But a little video shedding some light on some of the steps that we go through will help have people be prepared and ready to rock with their marketing. And additionally, with the unfortunate circumstances that we're in, some people have some extra time on their hands, and we think it could be a good use of your time to start working on your marketing or think about your marketing and maybe put a little bit more time and energy into it than you normally would. And that's one of the things that I'm going to stress throughout the whole thing, is that your marketing is important, and putting a lot of research, time, energy, thought into it will really help your business out in being successful. So basically what I'm going to do is go through our process. If you were to go through InterNACHI for your marketing, and kind of go through step by step and break each part down, and maybe give you some insight into how to think about stuff, because our process is designed to be pretty simple. It doesn't take much time to complete, but I do think, and we think, that your marketing shouldn't be rushed and shouldn't be done quickly. So the actual act of going through the process is simple, but this is a pretty difficult and stressful aspect of running a business and being a business owner. So just going to try to go through and shed some light on some stuff, and hopefully even if you're new or you have marketing already, there's some information here that you could benefit from. So yeah, we'll just start with that, and we'll go through our process. And what I'm going to do quickly is, I don't mean to censor you all, but I'm going to disable the chat window. I'm going to put some links in there, if I remember to, hopefully I do, for you guys to use. And if you have questions along the way, there is a Q&A tab, which it looks like there's some people that already have. Yeah, so 1 p.m. Eastern time, a couple questions already. 1 p.m. Eastern time, we're getting going here. More people are coming in, so yeah. And I'm actually working remote, Peter, to answer your question there. So I work in New York, but yeah. So if you have any questions along the way, I'll take a couple breaks as I go to give you time to type that out. But feel free to ask a question at any point. And I disable chat. And lastly, just in terms of this webinar, we're recording it. And so if you want to revisit this at any point, this will be available for you to watch, or for anyone who wasn't able to attend live, they could watch it at some point. So no need to write everything down if you were planning on it or anything like that. It's going to be pretty casual anyways, but this will be available to you. So we'll make sure that you know how to access that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and I'm going to bring it to the marketing page, and we're just going to again go through the process, kind of from start to finish, if you were to utilize our services. So let me do that really quickly. Sharing desktop 1. Okay, so I'll leave this Q&A thing up here. But this is our marketing page. It's marketing.nachi.org. I'll quickly, let's see here. I'll share that in the chat once I go back to my view. And we're actually in the beginning stages of having a new marketing site. So if you're watching this on a recording, it may look a little different, but it should all still be easy for you to find. This is our homepage for our marketing services. And if you aren't familiar with the process at all, it's basically as simple as you place a print order through Inspector Outlet. And with that, our department will design that print material for you. And also, if you needed it or wanted it, we also include a free logo design. So it's a pretty good value if you were going to buy business cards or brochures or anything like that already. But it is something that I think is worth utilizing if you are a member of InterNACHI, and you can really have a good opportunity to save some money and set yourself apart with your marketing. So it's pretty much as simple as that, and we'll go through, but basically here you can see some previous work that we've done with business cards, brochures, flyers, and stuff like that. You can see a lot more of what we've done here in our portfolio tab. In terms of print material, check out a lot of logos that we've done for our inspectors as well by clicking this logo tab here. And there is a lot to look at. So I do encourage you throughout this process, if you're stuck, need some inspiration, feel free to visit our portfolios here and see what other inspectors have done and how we've been able to help other inspectors out with their marketing. So that's there. You can see all of our products here, and then you can always reach out and contact us if you have any questions. But pretty straightforward, and we'll just actually go through the steps really quickly with you guys. So basically you just pick anything that you want here, business cards, brochures of any of the quantities that we offer. And so you order and you pick your quantity, place your order, add to cart, and it's pretty straightforward with that. And once you do that, you'll hear shortly back from Jessica, who is our marketing director, and she'll act as kind of your liaison for all of your marketing needs. And she'll send you over a logo questionnaire if you were to utilize the logo design service, which again, if you don't have one, I really think that it's worth exploring. Even if you decide to go in a different direction or use what you already have, it's really no skin off your back to at least try. So we're here to help, and it doesn't cost you anything more. So again, if you're thinking that maybe your marketing or your logo specifically could use an improvement, we're here to help. And it's not going to cost you any extra money. I'm going to flip it back really quick just to kind of go over something really quickly with you guys. Stop share. So we're back here. I'll type out marketing.nachi.org for you guys in case you need it. And what I wanted to do is highlight a couple things. So no matter where you end up getting your marketing designed from, I think it's important to keep in mind a few things. And wanted to share a little story with you guys about something that came to me a couple of years ago from one of these larger print companies that you could utilize online, because there's a ton and there's plenty of options, and whatever you guys want to do is your decision. But I got handed 2 business cards within 2 weeks of each other that are actually purely identical, different people in the same state, but the same exact logo, same exact business cards. And that's important because your marketing needs to act as a quick visual identifier and a way for people to make a decision to hire you without ever meeting you for the most part. You go on a website or you pick this up at a real estate office or something like that. And this gives me no discernible reason to hire one person or the other. So you're pretty much just competing against yourself if you are doing something that, in this case, is identical to somebody else. And just in general, there are a lot of similarities with home inspector marketing overall. So, I've gone to a lot of home inspection events working at InterNACHI for this long, and I've been handed hundreds, if not thousands, of business cards, and a lot of them look very, very similar to this. And there's actually few that stand out to me that are things that we haven't done for inspectors. And I think that opens up an interesting door for people who are coming into the industry, or maybe are going to try a little rebranding effort or something like that, because a lot of people are doing the same thing. And uniquely enough, when with home inspectors, there's an opportunity for you to do something a little different, and it's a lot easier for you to stand out because people are kind of all doing similar stuff with their marketing. So something to keep in mind, this isn't meant to make anyone feel bad who uses something with a little house outline or a magnifying glass. That's not my intention here. I'm simply trying to say that going a little off the beaten path will go a long way for you. So it's just something to think about when you're going through this process. Try to think of ways to set yourself apart, and for visually someone to look at what you have for your marketing versus somebody else and make a decision based off of that, because a lot of people do that. So I just wanted to share that really quickly with you, and also point out that the process that we have with InterNACHI helps you kind of think about things in a different kind of way, and that's what I want to go through next. So after you go through and place your order, like I said, Jessica will send you an email, and with that email will come a logo questionnaire. So I wanted to just go through that with you guys really quickly as well. So let's see here, logo questionnaire. I'm gonna redo this because I filled it out earlier, but okay, so this is pretty straightforward. It's, you know, like it says, it should only take 10 to 15 minutes to fill out. But like I said, the more time and effort you put into it beforehand, and then once you fill it out, the more likely you're going to have a more successful solution to your marketing. So we'll begin. What is your name? Pretty straightforward. Chris Krowiak. What email address should we use to contact you? So you just fill out your actual email address. Pretty obvious here. And then you get to your company name. So if you don't have a company name yet, I don't want to spend too much time talking about that, but I do have a video actually that I will share with you guys in the link. I'm not going to play it. Once I go back to the other view, I'll share it. And it kind of helps you think about things in regards to your company name. A couple quick suggestions are to keep it simple, you know, so you don't want anything tough to spell, anything really long or anything like that. You want to keep it as easy to remember as possible so people can share it via word of mouth, and also, via domain name. So you want an easy to remember URL so people can visit your website and get more traffic. And the harder it is to remember, the more likely people are going to forget and not be able to share you. So you want to make sure it's simple. You want something that's probably meaningful to you, something that you're going to be proud of to utilize as your company name forever. You know, you don't want to have to go back and redo it. Some acronyms are kind of tough to remember, so that's something to keep in mind. And if nothing else fails, you can always do, you know, like an adjective and noun. It's a tried and true way to have a good company name that's easy to remember. So anyways, for mine, I'm just going to do Crow Inspections. And this part actually I think is worth noting here. A lot of inspectors, they try to cram a lot of things into their company name to, you know, showcase that they do this service or that service. So, you know, you'll get some that are like home inspections and residential services, or mold inspections and commercial property. You know, there's just a lot of things that I think can be accomplished via the rest of your marketing. And in your company name, particularly in your logo, you don't want to have that much text, because logos, and we'll go over this more in a little bit, are a lot of times viewed at a small scale, and you only have someone's attention for a little bit of time. So, you know, make sure that it's nice and easy to remember. So this right here, Crow Inspections, should be good. And so what you want to do is register that within your state and make sure it's available. And also, what you'll want to do is make sure that you can get a domain. This is in the way here. A nice domain name that's easy to remember. And a way that you can do that is to go to this site right here, namechk.com. I already did this, but I'll refresh it and see if we can just do it again, just to show you what it does. So my company name is Crow Inspections. And you type that in and it highlights in green what domains are available to you. So crowinspections.com is available to me. That's great. That's what I wanted. So I can move forward with that. So as long as you register it with your state And ideally you want to have the domain name that you want, because you don't want to have it be Crow Inspections NY. You know, it's just the harder it is to share that with people and again be memorable, the harder it is for you to just have an easier chance of standing out. So let's quickly over that. We'll go back to the questionnaire here. That's all set. Should your logo include LLC, Inc., PLLC? A lot of people ask me if you have to. You don't. It's up to you. Nick Ramiko, our founder, recommends if you are an LLC or you're incorporated or something, it kind of gives a little more peace of mind to your viewer. You're a little more trustworthy, a little bit more credible. So it's up to you though. Whatever you want to do, we're going to do it. Sure. And then if you want a comma to appear, nope. Simple enough. And so here is where you get into visuals. So us as designers, we can't guess what kind of style you like for your logo. So it's important for you to think about what kind of logo that you want and let us know. And clicking one of these doesn't necessarily lock you into this. We can keep discussing and seeing what we can come up with for you, but it's a good place to start. So a character, pretty straightforward, it's like a mascot, if you will. The word mark will have the company name be the focal point of the logo, stylized in a certain way, depending on if the name lends itself to it or not. A letter form, essentially the first letter of your company will be the focal point of your logo. Abstract mark is abstract means that it's supposed to kind of invoke a feeling. It's not a direct object. So a lot of people will select abstract mark and then they say they want a house, which isn't an abstract mark. So just keep that in mind. It is something like this. Like the Nike swoosh is an abstract mark. So that's what that means. The pictorial mark is it's an image, and so if you select that, make sure that you have some kind. Oh, excuse me, I did not mean to scroll through. You have some kind of imagery in mind that you wanted to use for your logo. So these here, they work with the company name again, kind of driving that point home. People have a better chance of remembering something that they see versus something that they hear. So something like Viking with the hammer, that has a better chance of sticking with the viewer there. So again, keeping that in mind, if you're struggling with a company name, you can always go with something that lends itself to a visual, and it probably will be relatively strong. So, and then the emblem, which basically is the logo is encompassed by a frame of some sort, a badge, something like that. So these are just a couple of examples here. For me personally, my company, I want the pictorial mark because I think I'll probably have a crow of some sort in mind. And then here's more visuals for you to look at, and just let us know so we're more on the same page of what you're looking for. So there's only a few here to choose from, but they're all kind of different styles so that you can select a couple here and we have a better feel for what you're looking for. And we are going to ask in a couple of questions why you picked them. So while you're going through, yeah, it's an eye test and you can just pick something quickly here, but it is important to at least think a little bit about why you like it or why you would like your logo to be similar to it in a way. So, for me, I'm gonna click the Elk Springs one because I like the way that the logo is framed, but I like the 3D aspect of the moose popping through the frame. And I like this because it's in line with the nature theme, and we'll do around the block because I'm looking for some vibrant colors in my logo. So again, it's just important to kind of think about what you, why you like what you're looking at instead of just being like, I like this. It just helps us as the designer to try to meet you in the middle. So it's important to put a little bit of thought into that. So we'll move forward. And then here, you have a chance to, you're not limited by the choices above. You can upload whatever you want. So it's really easy. You can drag something from your computer, plop it in there, or just click it and click something from your folder. Not that many people upload stuff, and I think that that's interesting because there's a lot of stuff online that you can take a look at that is probably likely to have some appeal to you. And so there's a few sites like Logo Pond, Behance. You could even just Google logo inspiration, like I have up here, and kind of click through and just take, not that much time, and just you know what you like, and you probably have a feel for at least what you're looking for, not necessarily exactly what you want. And it's good to provide that for us so we can draw inspiration from it. Yeah, so the idea here isn't to copy anybody. It's just to see what other people are doing and seeing what piques your interest. Because if a lot of people will say, well, I won't know until I look at it. And that's relatively true. But when we're trying to get a logo done for you, the closer that we can see eye to eye, the better off we're going to be. So upload whatever you kind of hear, even if you have some doodles on a little note card or something like that, it actually goes a long way. So don't just discount that just because you don't have anything right in mind. So again, here you can just write down what you liked about the logos and why. So take some time, jot that down. And I will say again, it's important because you go through here and a lot of people will click 3 different logos that are entirely different and they won't say why they liked them. So it's really hard to know what we're trying to accomplish on our end if we don't have that extra insight. So I'm just stressing the importance of it's a two-way street with design, and we're here to help you out and make your vision come to life, but only you know really what you're looking for. So that additional effort beforehand goes a long way. So you type in what you like there. And then, yeah, what colors do you like? If you have a preference, let us know, and you can be as specific or not as possible. I still think you can take some time, look up some color schemes online, or, copy an image online, a little image, and then just share it with us in the previous section and be like, I like this color a ton. I like New York Knicks colors, whatever you want to say. All right, and if there's anything else that you'd like to tell us about what you want your logo to look like, and I think that this is probably the most important section, but I think often goes underutilized. So you have an opportunity here to talk about your background, some things that you like, some interests, and usually we're able to find some nuggets within that if you just kind of share more about yourself and how you want to be represented visually, and come up with something that's a little bit more unique, because again, you are the product, you're the service that you're providing, your expertise. So the company is hinged around you. So again, I think it's important to have something that's meaningful for you and that you're proud to showcase. So again, going a little off the beaten path is proven to be successful for a lot of inspectors. So keep that in mind and just open up as much, or share whatever you want to share. There's nothing you could write down that's wrong. So and I think that's the last thing. So you submit that, and that goes right into or we have another logo designer, Levi, who's very talented, right into our inbox, and we begin working on it right away. So before I move forward, I just wanted to take a second. I kind of threw a lot at you guys. I just want to see if anyone has a question, or feel free to type that out, and I'll just give it a minute and go back to this, and I'll share a couple of those links. And then if there's nothing, we'll move forward. Okay. There's I actually have a few videos online discussing naming your logo or naming your company, and additionally brainstorming some stuff for your logo. So feel free to check those out if you want to. I'm trying to just get through this process quickly and helping you understand the importance of having strong marketing and how we can help you accomplish that. Let's see, what else was I gonna put this down there too. Perfect. So hopefully you guys can all see that. But yeah, and so, okay, what I wanted to do now is show a little bit about how we go about creating a logo for you. So we will see your answers to that questionnaire and review them, take some time, do a little research, sketch stuff out, and then we produce every logo from scratch, handmade. And so I just wanted to share really quickly a recent one that I did to show our process and how we actually develop the logo. And yeah, I think a lot of inspectors think that we have some kind of library of images that we just kind of, they order off a menu and then we put their company name in place of the previous one, and then that's the logo. But it's actually a little different than that. So I just wanted to show quickly how we go about our business here, and what we provide you once you approve the logo as well. And then we can move forward. Looks like no. Okay, yeah, that's a good question. Do we get artwork to use on our website as well? Yeah, you do. You own the logo, and you can do whatever you want with your logo. We'll send you a few different file types, and yeah, you can use it on your website. You can use it for getting your vehicle wrapped, whatever you want to do. The only thing that we don't actually have the software to do is to convert it to an embroidery file. It's called a DST file, and we don't have that. Depends on what shop you go to, but a lot of places may just charge you a little fee so that they do it, but it's not the worst thing in the world. But yeah, we provide you with the files, and you can use them however you want for your logo. So I'll share my screen again, and I'll open up here. Oh, that isn't what I was going to show yet, but that's okay. So here's this is a logo that I did for someone recently, and he said I can show it, so it's all good. But basically, it's like I said, we sketch out a lot of concepts, and once we get one that we feel like would be strong, we move forward with it and render it out a little bit. So here's, the company name is Pilot. He wanted a pilot element to the logo, and he shared a lot about why that's important to him. And so, made a little crude sketch here. Hopefully you guys can see it all right. And, we scan it in, and I have a little digitizer thing that I can kind of trace over with and build out these shapes and just make it a little bit more of a detailed thing. And then we bring it into our program here. And I'll just show you a little bit really quickly. Oh, you know what? It's not going to let me do that because my monitor is plugged in. Well, anyways, basically we kind of trace over and we build out shapes here, and we're able to render the logo in more detail and add color and stuff to it. So eventually, we get to something like this. And the importance of the file type that we use, it's called a vector file. And that means that you can take this logo and blow it up as large as you want it, and there's no loss of quality. You can still see that the lines here are nice and smooth and sharp. And the same thing if you go really small. So it's important to have that. We get a lot of people who they just want to get business cards printed, and they send us their file over, but it's this little tiny JPEG, and it's pixelated. If we try to make it into the size of a brochure or a business card or whatever you want, excuse me. And you want your logo to be able to work on a billboard or on a pen, right? So it's important to have it properly done and have the proper files for your marketing material. And so, we send you this version too for, any vendors that you would potentially need it, like a vehicle wrap company or something like that. And yeah, and like I said before, we do, we send you the files over as soon as it's approved, and you can use them however you want. And then we do move forward and design your print material too. And I'll get that to a sec. We do door hangers. actually, I was going to show an example of a door hanger just next. So yeah, we do. So once the logo is approved by you guys, again, we send the files directly to you, and then myself or Levi will pass the files along as well to our print designers. And they take the elements from the logo that we've developed, you know, the colors, the fonts, and all that stuff, and then they incorporate it into whatever it is that you got designed. So everything, once it's all done, is all cohesive and professional looking. And I'll actually have I was going to show a door hanger that Ian, who's very talented, designed a few days ago. And yeah, this is a door hanger that was made. And I think it's really sharp. And so you know the color scheme is matching, and there's just a nice cohesive professional feel to it. And also, it's outlined on this post how much you would be saving if you were to hire a designer to do these things for you, and then got it printed as well outside of InterNACHI. So again, you know, it's just a really good value. And additionally, one thing that I forgot to mention is that with this service as well as the design, we do have a stock image library, and we do have an editor in chief, and we can provide you with copy for your print material. So that's another thing that, you know, if you don't really know what to say on your brochure, if you're getting a brochure or anything like that, we also help with that too. So that's included as well. It's just another little benefit of going through us for your marketing. Let's see where I'm at here for time. Okay, doing pretty good. Yeah, a couple of other things that I wanted to say to kind of help you guys in terms of your marketing and things that we can do really quickly is we have all these certification logos. And so I think what a lot of inspectors try to do is jam everything into their logo. So if they're a veteran or a firefighter or something similar, they want to put all these pieces together into their logo to showcase all these things. And again, you want to keep your logo as simple as you possibly can. And we offer these certification logos, whether you've completed these courses online with us, or you know there is a veteran one, for example, that you can include into your marketing material that kind of highlights those aspects about you and can kind of reinforce your credibility and make you seem more professional. And those can be your selling points. And so, yeah, again, when this is all said and done, the goal is to really quickly be able to have people feel confident in hiring you versus someone else. And the more professional your marketing looks, the easier it is to actually charge a higher rate because there's a higher perceived value. So again, I can't stress the importance. The product that you get as well is really high quality stuff too. So again, it's up to you how you want to utilize your money and which direction you want to go with your marketing, but it is worth putting the extra thought and effort into it regardless of where you go for it. So these are things again that you can include into your marketing. And one other thing that I want to say, especially now that we have extra time on our hands. Oh, there's me. If you go to nachi.org/everything, there's a bunch of resources there that you guys can utilize as well. But I think one that could be important right now is something that Ben Gromyko made, and it's a video on how to build a website for your inspection business. So if financially you don't have it in the budget to hire a website designer right now, you can still take time and learn. It's pretty simple. There's no coding or anything, how to build a website for your inspection business. And you can incorporate scheduling and contact forms and all that stuff in there too. So he shows you how to do that there. And I think that that's a really important thing, that especially now with the extra time that some of us have to accomplish that, because you really should have a web presence as well. Right now we don't offer any sort of website service, but that is something that you can do on your own for free. Weebly is a free service. There are add-ons that you can pay for to enhance it, but to get a nice professional looking site, it's pretty straightforward to make, that I think that most people can do. So yeah, that's for me on my end. That's kind of all I have right now. So if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer them for you. So I've been buying the stock books of Now That You Had a Home Inspection because the minimum order price is over 900 for the. Well, okay, so the question is, will there ever be a finance option for that? We do, there are times where we do have a lower quantity, but that's something that is not really determined by me. We've bounced those ideas around, but I can't say definitively if we're going to have those options or not right now. I will say that at a certain point, the quantity that you get for your custom Now books becomes the same or not too far away from the original books. So it's something to keep in mind. It's a really good marketing tool to use. So in the meantime, you can always staple a business card to the regular Now book until you're ready to do a custom order. All right, so what can I do to make my logo unique? I think that goes back to the questionnaire, and the area here, the last thing here, and you can just let it rip. You can just type in whatever you want about yourself, and that gives us more doors to open, and increases the amount of solutions that there are for your company. If you're sharing a lot of interest with us, even if it's, I like to fish, it just kind of helps us figure out who you are more as a person, because we can't tell you what you should name your company. We can't tell you how your company's marketing should look. It's really up to you, because you're the product. And so again, I really think it just goes back to being really mindful and putting a lot of energy into something that is subjective by nature. So it's a very difficult thing to accomplish, but I really have to stress again the importance of you taking the time and putting the energy into trying to find that avenue. You can sit down and write down keywords and keep combining them or anything like that, and sometimes that just clicks in your brain, and then you have an idea of what you're looking for. But really it's on you as the inspector and as the business owner, really, of thinking about these things. Do market research, see what other people are doing, and if you think that there's an opportunity for you to set yourself apart because a lot of people are doing one thing, unless you're going really extreme, it's probably beneficial for you to do your best to stand out. You have to. One other thing that I'll say about that is I feel like a lot of inspectors they have their marketing designed as if they're marketing to other home inspectors, and the target audience for home inspections is massive. It's not niche. It's young people, it's old people, it's men, it's women, it's people with all different interests. I bought my house last year, and I'm a computer nerd who draws pictures for a living. So you got to keep in mind that there's going to be a lot of people who with a lot of options, and it's really easy to see what options there are around you with the internet, and just being able to quickly scroll through and seeing what's available, that you can't afford to blend in, and you can't afford to have something outdated, and you can't afford to not put that little bit of extra effort in. And so that's really why we wanted to do this today, is to kind of reinforce how important that is. And it is a tough thing to kind of wrap your head around and do, but that's why we're trying to let you know ahead of time that this is something you should be thinking about and working on in conjunction with your training, in conjunction with if you are out in the field working still. It's just a really important thing that I think gets overlooked a lot with home inspectors. So it's a tough question to answer, but I did my best with it there. Try to be a sponge, do research, think outside the box. And a lot of times when people put the time in, those are the best. There's a direct correlation with successful designs that we make and how thorough people are with their questionnaire and their correspondence with us throughout the process. So I'll go back to this really quick because one other thing I wanted to say that is a question that's asked a lot is this guy right here, this inspector with this logo. We went back and forth a lot, and we talked about a lot of stuff, and eventually he decided that he wanted to go a different direction. He didn't want to have the pilot anymore, and that's fine. That's another thing that I wanted to say is that we're here to continue to work with you until you have something that you're satisfied with and you want to have as your logo and as your marketing. So it's not like a one and done kind of thing. You don't have to take the first thing that you see. In fact, it's pretty rare if you do, just because, again, we're doing this over email, and sometimes communication is limited, or we just didn't know, the inspector didn't know what questions to ask, or I misunderstood something that they filled out on the questionnaire. So that's another thing to keep in mind here, is that I'm still working with this inspector here, and he said I could use this image, but we're going to go in a different direction. So it's part of the process, and that's important to keep in mind too. So the earlier, again, that you can start doing this sort of thing, the less likely it is going to interfere with you actually getting out there and starting to do inspections. So again, start early, think about it early, and really try to care about it if you can. Okay, there's a couple of. Okay, yeah, if you have an idea, I'll put my email in the chat as well. Please email me, even if you have no idea what you want to even name your company. If you're way early on in the I'll stop the share here. I'll put my face back up here. I love brainstorming with inspectors. So if you have ideas that you want to share, please, yeah, email them to me, and I'm happy to give my honest opinion on it, and I'm happy to work with you and come up with something. Naming businesses isn't really like a service that we offer, but I'm always willing and available to hear your ideas and give you my opinion on it. So I'll type out my email here. And remember, you know, it's kind of a crazy time right now, and if you're not in a position financially to move forward with your marketing yet, it's you can still think about it. You can still put you know, effort towards it. So once you are able to move forward and go through the process, you hit the ground running and you're ready to rock. So again, never too early to start doing this stuff. So sure, yeah, shoot me an email and send me whatever you have. If it's a scribble on a napkin, I'm happy to see it. Okay, so so this is a few minutes ago. Maybe I answered it. The process, as soon as we get the questionnaire in, we're busy. We get a lot of orders in, but we start working on it right away. And typically, a logo we can get over a concept to you within a few days. Typically, sometimes it's longer depending on how many we take. Sometimes it's the next day. So, you know, anywhere from 2 to 5 business days on average, but usually our turnaround is pretty quick. So, yeah, it's pretty fast. And if you don't like the design, like I said, we can completely scrap what we sent you already, or we can make little modifications and you build from take certain elements from what I sent over, or again, if you don't like it, we are battle tested. We know how to take criticism. So don't feel like you have to settle on something. And again, we keep working with you until it's something that you love. So yeah, if you don't like it, it's okay. You don't have to like it. We keep working. I'm curious, will there ever be a skirt design marketing? I'm not sure what you mean. If you want to retype that out or email me or something, I'm happy to try to answer that if I can. Yeah. So, are there any other questions? Will there be sure? Okay. 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 Let's see. Will there be a shirt design? Um, that is something that we've talked about as well, but usually inspectors are happy to go with something local for an embroidery. Like I said, we don't have the ability to convert the file into an embroidery file, and we aren't like a print shop or anything. So maybe, but for now we send you over your files for you to use if you were to get a shirt printed, and typically we give you everything you need outside of embroidery. So okay, how would you suggest I do market research before I get my logo done through you? That's a good question. I guess I would start locally. See what people in your area are doing, and make sure, if you're early on and you don't have a name or anything yet, see what people are naming their companies, because you don't want to have anything similar to them. And usually you're competing with people that are around you. So that would be the place that I would begin. Google search. And if you can't find that much in your area, you have a leg up already, because you should get online immediately, make a website. And I would say that that's a really, that's a really big avenue for your marketing, is your online presence. I would say that a lot of people will just Google. That's what I did. We'll just Google home inspections in my area, or home inspectors in my area, and you click through the first few, and depending on the price, or depending on again your perceived value of that person or that company, is how a lot of people make their decisions. So again, I cannot stress it enough how important it is to make sure that you have a marketing presence, because a lot of people will make their decisions that way. I buy my bottles of wine because of the label, so there's always a subconscious kind of factor when you're talking about marketing. So yeah, again, see what other people are doing, and then just look online for logos and marketing that you like. See what people are doing. There's so many things that you can look at, and I personally believe the more stuff you look at and the more you jot stuff down, the stronger, more advantage you'll have once you're ready to make decisions about your own marketing. So hope that answers that question. Ian's asking the tough questions out here. But yeah, if there's something that you maybe didn't want to share in the chat, and you just want to talk to me personally, if you have something that you already have and you want me to do a little critique on it, give you my advice, I'm happy to do that. What I want is for you guys to know that we're here to help you. Even if you're not making a purchase or anything like that, it's part of what we're supposed to do here as members for you guys, is to help you succeed. So don't be afraid to ask questions to us directly. All of our staff is very accessible from top to bottom. So yeah, don't hesitate. But it looks like that's probably, does anyone else have any other questions while I'm here? All right. Well, I really do appreciate everyone taking their time to join me today, and I hope that you guys got something from it. Just remember that it's a difficult process. So if you feel like it's a blank slate and you don't even know where to begin, it's okay to feel stressed about that. But the more you pay attention and work towards it, you'll get it. So I just want to make sure everyone takes it seriously and feels comfortable moving forward with their marketing. So again, I appreciate you joining me. Maybe we'll do something else like this in the future. I'm not sure yet. So we'll see how it goes. And again, this will be available. I'll probably see if we can slice it up a little bit so it's a little bit more digestible for you guys to go through and find the information that you were looking for. So thanks again. And again, my email's there. The links, check out the links that I provided, and best of luck to you, and hope everyone's staying safe and has a nice weekend. So thanks again for watching, and take care.